Hello Long Beach, I'm Franklin Sims, reporting for Long Beach News Today. I am here in the center of a new artificial turf field here at El Dorado Park where there was a ribbon cutting ceremony. This park was revealed to the city and now open access for kids to play soccer.
So, hey, my name's Brent Dennis and I serve all of you as your Director of Parks, Recreation and Marine. And we do have a brief program.
It was almost as if there were two teams. There were a team of protesters here. They were saying that this is an act of wasteful spending, not in the best interest of the community or in the best interest of the environment. But on the other side, there was Councilmember Stacy Mungo, Assemblymember O'Donnell, and also Mayor Garcia. They said that this was the sort of place that was great for families to gather, great for nature, and also great for kids to have fun in.
What's great about parks, and this is true not just here, but should be across the country, is parks are places for families to gather, to enjoy nature, and for kids to play.
The mayor's right. El Dorado Park is full of nature. Artificial turf, however, is synthetic. But there are pros and cons. Artificial turf doesn't have to be watered as much. We are in drought. It doesn't require mowing, which pollutes the air. But the carbon footprint from this field only adds to the ships, trains, and diesel trucks already polluting our air here in Long Beach and contributing to things like infant mortality and asthma among children. But our public works director said the field is sustainable.
So I get to have fun. I get to play in the mud. I get to work with the contractors that uses the heavy equipment, the excavators, the diggers. I also want to point out one of the sustainability features of this project. We use cork and sand infill. A lot of people have stated that we use rubber materials. We don't. We used cork and sand infill. And it's the same material we chose a few years back, and we've done that at our three other Measure A funded projects. Also, our two additional projects. One was funded by private funding, Molina Park, and another one was funded by county parks grant funding at Drake Chavez. And those have turned out great. Kids have been playing on them for years, and we're really excited that we can bring these improvements here. And I actually look forward to building more of these projects.
According to the Director of Public Works as well as Mayor Garcia, there is a development trend to install artificial turfs all across Long Beach. Mayor Garcia says it's happening at local schools as well as other parks. 3 have been funded using Measure A dollars. That's our sales tax increase that was intended to be spent on infrastructure projects. Here's the mayor in his own words.
So it is great to be here and to see this incredible field. This is, I believe, Brent, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the third, is it the fourth one now that we've done? I know we've done 3 or 4.
Third for Measure A.
Okay, third Measure A field that we've put in. And these fields, by the way, are pretty common. You're seeing them also in all of our schools across the city of Long Beach. All of our schools are also getting these fields. And what's important is that these fields give you kids ability to play year-round and to enjoy the sport that they love, one that I love, but also I know that one that so many kids across our city love very much.
Kids, fun, and love were the mayor's talking points. But Councilwoman Stacy Mungo, whose seat has already at least 2 challengers, took her victory lap as an opportunity to criticize her opponent, Gerrie Schipske, former councilwoman of the same district, for flip-flopping on the fake greens. We asked Councilwoman Schipske to set the record straight.
Thank you all for being here. This is a project that was dreamed up 8 years ago. Many of you know I wasn't on the city council 8 years ago. And then it was voted in by 4 of the individuals who are here today, former council members who have moved on, one of which is our mayor. He was the first district council member at the time. Councilmember Al Austin was a council member at the time. Former council member, assembly member now, Patrick O'Donnell was here, and a former councilwoman Schipske was here and voted for that back then. And this project was one of 3 soccer fields approved at that time.
Is that true?
No, it's not entirely true. What had occurred was, that was 8 years ago, we were looking at the feasibility of artificial turf parks in Long Beach, and so the council budgeted $1 million to look at 3 locations. That's $300,000 a location, okay? On one was Whaley because Patrick O'Donnell wanted one in his district. They put El Dorado, and then they also did, I believe it was up in North Long Beach. So we had community meetings, and the community came out because the park was actually planned for south of Willow, not here.
So the park that was up for discussion when you were in council wasn't this
No,
somewhere else?
It was south of Willow and Studebaker.
And you started with community engagement.
And the community was absolutely opposed because of a number of things. One, traffic. Also, what was being proposed by AYSO is they had raised $250,000. And what they wanted was a park, which they now have, that would be gated, that they would light till 10 o'clock at night, and that they would be able to charge to be able to have people use the park because they had paid for the light. So in other words...
So we don't see any lights yet, but that's coming.
Not yet, I believe so.
And fencing may come.
Well, there's partial fencing already up, and I think for the grand opening they didn't complete the fencing, but my hunch is it's coming. Yeah, she has taken a kernel of truth and twisted it to her, because she wants it out there that if I object to this, well, gee, you were in favor of it. That's not the story.
Whether Councilwoman Mungo is being honest, you'll have to be the judge. But she's certainly feeling the heat here on this sunny day at El Dorado Park. She was quick to mention that the nearby duck pond is next on her list of accomplishments, but after spending over $3 million installing something artificial, with private fencing and bright lights likely to come, it's hard for some neighbors to understand why the duck pond has taken so long and looks like this.
We're starting our project in just 60 to 90 days, right one park over, to redo our entire duck pond and really make it something that we can all be proud of. It's also a project that's taken a really long time with a lot of community input. And to make something great, really all the stakeholders get to be at the table. And so if you haven't had a chance to sit in on one of the dozen meetings we've had on the duck pond, know that that is coming. Reach out to my office. We'd love to have you involved.
Speaking of water, the councilwoman talked about the duck pond. The duck pond is not in a good position. She says, though, that they're going to start repairing that. Is that true?
Well, my understanding, again, when I left council, I put $1 million in the budget to fix the duck pond because many people were here that were on that we had a task force, and we had worked on it for 8 years about the things that needed to be improved, like an aerator and removing the algae and reconstructing the island that's there and a variety of other things.
Well, what happened to that $1 million?
I don't know. I do not know. And so now, 8 years later, because election time is coming up, she's saying, oh, well, we're going to fix the duck pond. It's not just fixing the duck pond. And by the way, people need to understand, it's not really a duck pond. It's a stormwater catchment. It was built to catch stormwater runoff. And because birds love water, and also people kept dropping off pet ducks and pet birds.
Oh, that's how the ducks got there.
That's how they got there.
It's also great to know that what's probably our not just our largest, but our most well-known used park space across the city, which is the El Dorado system of parks that we have here, is also now going to be this great place that has this amazing soccer experience.
3, 2, 1.
This is Franklin Sims reporting for Long Beach News Today, reporting for Long Beach families.